What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Platinum Podcast, where we talk about all things gaming, all things PlayStation, and of course all things trophies. I'm your host Lewis, also known as PlatinumBro. I am joined by Joel, also known as GuyFarruski. How are you today, Joel?
Very good, thank you.
Long pause.
Dramatic sip of the tea.
That was for effect, straight
That
in.
was. We have a new sponsor today, which is PG Tips. So thank you.
I like the Yorkshire tea. Just because like the advert with Sean Bean where he's like, "Do it for Yorkshire."
Does he die in it?
And then he dies.
Oh, yeah, he died afterwards. Also, I'm joined by Platchums, who are also Nathan and Dan. Nathan above, Dan over there. How are you both doing today?
Dan.
Fantastic. Yeah, thanks a million for having us again. You know, it's our favorite place, and that's why we're always here. That's why we keep coming back, I suppose.
I'm doing much better as soon as I pop that sucker. Look at that go. It's been a long day.
Don't tap it. It's foaming.
That is delicious foam. Also sponsored by Carlsberg.
The worst lager.
Never said I was cultured or classy. It was in the fridge. Someone else put it there. I didn't buy it.
So for those who don't know,
Sure.
Platchums is another fellow YouTube channel, Trophy Hunter Extraordinaires, who this is your fourth time on the podcast, I want to say.
Yeah. Why'd you keep having us back, man?
I don't know, because everybody loves you, that's why. Me and Joe love talking to you, and our viewers love listening to you guys crack on and all your witty bants, I suppose. Being polite. You got to be polite to your guests.
That's high praise for someone that's drinking mainly foam from a bottle.
Yeah.
Everybody else kind of said no as well. But
Well, that's always
we're not going to talk.
that's always the case, Joe.
You don't
it's
mind being last.
no, like mid tier.
You were the
After
first choice out of
The
Bottom tier.
from the bottom up.
Yeah.
We like
Okay.
things different.
I'll take it, man, to be honest.
So last episode, which was our 25th episode, I believe, was our 1 year anniversary, and on
Yes.
that, Joel had a really weird background
I did.
because he was moving. He is now, as you can see, a bit more settled. And for the viewers, Joel, how's the move been? You know, you all settled in now?
I've not actually moved yet. This is just a green screen. I'm still on the floor. I've made it a bit more classy now. Like
It's so confusing.
He is a better green screen than us, Dan. Anyway, safe to say. Look at the state of this.
Your hands
This
keep
is-
vanishing.
This is like
it's a black hole green screen where it sucks you in.
we bought this from StevenSeagal.com. this green screen. Look at this.
To be fair, Dan tried to show us his drink before and it just vanished into the green screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, that's product placement filters.
He literally can't see it.
Yeah. So we
What
don't
is
have to
it?
pay anything.
I'm just drinking green paint, you know.
No, the move went well. It's went well. I'm settled now. It's been a couple of stressful things, but as always, moving is stressful. But it's all gone now. It's all in the past, so we can look forward now, and it's going to be great.
So
Thank you for
very
asking.
wise. No, very wise. Very, very wise of you. So, the structure of the podcast is going to go like this. We're going to talk about the games we've been playing, as we always do. And then after that, we're going to be playing a game of such, which is going to be Who Am I? So, we'll keep you posted for that one. And then we're then going to see what time we have and probably talk about the Steamdeck. You know, the new handheld by Steam. But that's miles in the future for now. So, before we go any further, let's talk about games we've been playing. So, Dan, what games have you been playing?
This is a really dry month for me. This is possibly my biggest lull in gaming in about 2 years, since before the pandemic at least.
It is shocking. It is shocking.
It's pretty sad. And you know, I'm going to blame PlayStation Plus for it. Just
Highlight the game, Dan.
Yeah, just because, you know, last month I had a Plague Tale already, and then the other games I just had absolutely zero interest in. And I think that when I heard that news, I was kind of like, oh, you know, usually there's something out of the 3 games that I like to play or like to try. And then there wasn't much in the sales going on, and I didn't really have any motivation to buy anything new. So I loaded up a game that I've had for quite a while, The Long Dark, which is like a survival game. It's incredibly difficult for a platinum. Like I'm at like 61%, and I don't know am I going to be able to even go any further, to be honest.
That's coming from you. So
Yeah, so it must be.
It's just such a long one. Like each day you have to survive, and you can't pass the time too quickly, because you'll be like, I'll sleep throughout the day, and then it says, oh, you're not tired enough to sleep, so it's things like that. You can't artificially pass the time, and you have to survive like 500 days, and you have to mark every single location on the absolutely enormous map manually. It's like, no, it's just but I absolutely love the game, and I can't recommend it enough. It's such a chill game. I got it on early access on Steam, like back in 2015 or something, and I just loved it back then. And I got all the achievements when the game was smaller, and then I always wanted to come back to it and play it. But the platinum is something else. But I've played about 120 hours of that, I'd say, over the last month. It's just a really chilled out game. I love the loop of just finding a new location, searching everywhere, trying to hoard it back to my base, and
survive.
Yeah, it's
so
really chilled out.
What day are you on now?
2.
I just got past like day 50.
Yeah. The jump wasn't so far from the truth there. Oh my god,
it's real life hours. That's the problem.
It's crazy. It's really slow. It's really slow grind. Now, you're going to get to a point where you have just accumulated so much food and supplies and stuff that you could just, pass the time really quickly and wait it out. But still, even that 500 it's an incredible grind, So, I'm too old now. I'm not feeling up to grinding like that for just the platinum there. I'm kind of happy to leave it there. I had it at an A rank at about like 10 trophies, because it's one of those games. So yeah, that was kind of the main game I played myself. But then I got a lot of games for the kids, and we were playing like Lego Marvel Superheroes and Marvel's Avengers and Transformers. So they were cool games to play. Actually, the Transformer game was Transformers Devastation. It was actually made by Platinum Games, so that really surprised me, because the combat in it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It doesn't have a really hard platinum trophy. I want to think of a different game.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, and someone gave it to us for my kids, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to put that in my account. And then I looked up the platinum. It's like 0.9 or something percent. I was like, wow,
ultra rare.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to put it on my account still, but it's a fun game to play. It's nice to play games sometimes without the pressure of trophies,
Yeah.
Free of the pressure. I can relate to that. Going back to PS Plus, I actually see, as someone who had bought Plague Tale Innocence but never ever got around to playing it, I was actually kind of happy that it came out on PS5 because I got to play it. But they're like 2 games I can't even recall what they actually were. Has anyone else played it on the PS5 yet? Joe obviously hasn't.
No, I haven't.
Me
oh, no, you
I'm just going to take the beer for this conversation and just get out of here. There's
I see how the setup is as well. The layout is like the PlayStation 5 side and then the non-PlayStation 5 side.
Yeah, what's that
about,
guys?
Thanks for that.
No, I've changed it.
You've changed it.
We see what you're doing.
We see. Yeah, we see.
Joel see.
Nathan and Dan are above us now, Joe. I've changed it.
Yeah, well, I can see. I'm leaving this because this just shows your evil.
Let's go to the pub, Joel.
Your evil mind.
I'm just going to move over here a bit because there's like this light shining on me. So I'm just going to move here for the minute.
Again, it's so cinematic though. It's like Citizen Kane.
If I just put it in my eyes, it's like
it's so intense.
Instant hipster band member.
Yeah.
But that's everything I've been playing. Some non-PlayStation stuff as well. But yeah, I haven't gotten a platinum since Origami, which was I think June the 15th or something.
Ooh.
So over a month. Yeah, which is my biggest platinum drought since.
Time to catch up to you, Dan.
Nathan's like, what do you say?
Nathan's playing right now on his lap. Just 1 minute. Yeah. He's like.
Are you playing right now? And you're like, you seem to have a controller right there.
Well,
you got me. Just controllers drop out of my top. Just 10 of them.
A Vita just comes out from the air. What about you, Nathan? What have you been playing of late?
So, not too dissimilar to Dan. It was a bit of a dry spell, mainly because of work and all that jazz. But I did manage to get the Final Fantasy VII Remake Platinum, which was a long
Bravo.
time. Oh, guys, don't go nuts. So I think the total time was like 75 hours. The hard,
That's not bad.
it's my first Final Fantasy game.
Oh, right. What are you thinking?
So the hard playthrough got a little bit laborious, but I like the way it kind of teaches you how versatile the combat is, and it really like you have to learn all the facets of the gameplay to actually progress in the hard mode. Like you can't get away with just like spamming fire all the time.
Yeah.
So that was a very nice platinum to get, because it was like a really large side project of mine for a while. I got the Tearaway Platinum. I think that was like the middle of June. So that was like my first FIDA Platinum. So that felt kind of special.
Oh.
You know, and then like a nice little, I did it 10 years later, but I did it.
Well done.
And then I got Killing Floor 2 to 100%, which is just, it's almost like a part-time job at this point.
What about Dark Souls 2? You were playing that a long time ago. Have you finished that?
Well, I platted Dark Souls 2, but it's Dark Souls 3 I'm on. And yeah, you had to go for the juggler, didn't you? That's a touchy game now. It's been sitting at 20% for about 5 months.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm surprised. Dark Souls 2 is absolutely shit. So I would have thought it would have been nice.
Well, you see, I love the shit, Joel. I just love it.
He thrives in it like a pig.
Yeah, I just roll around going, God, this is awful. I have to keep playing. No, I think it, like, I was really enjoying it, and I don't know what happened. I just kind of fell out of it. But you know as much as anyone, lads, if you fall out of a Soulsborne game and you try to go back, even 2 weeks later, it's like, what was I doing? Never mind, 4 months. So I loaded it up about a month ago, and I have been too scared to go back, because I loaded it up and I was not killed. I was standing there going,
Where am I?
Where am I? And like, what's this? What armor is this? Are those my feet? Like, I have no idea what was going on. So I'm like, I'm just gonna like do a chapter in hard difficulty in Final Fantasy. So yeah, I am close to the plat in Uncharted Golden Abyss. So I just finished the crushing playthrough last night.
Have you at the point where you just have to grind out those tokens? Yeah,
and like a few of the weapon kills. So I think it's just I think it's like the RPG and the GAO 19 or whatever it's called. So yeah, and I started Gravity Rush. I started Severed. It's pretty much like PS Vitaville at the moment. But I would say Final Fantasy was like the jewel in the crown recently. And I'd say I should plat Golden Abyss within like the next couple of days.
What are your thoughts on Golden Abyss? I did a trophy list review with Ludi XP, and she was we had a little bit of a debate on it. I'll tell you my opinion afterwards.
Okay. Okay. So it was Bent Studio, the developers, right? I was saying to Dan, yeah, exactly. So I was saying to Dan, they are the masters of the drawn out, overly long narrative. Someone needs to go into the studio and go, you could have ended the game 10 chapters ago. Days Gone has 3 finales and about 16 epilogues. Golden Abyss is kind of the same. I think it started to overstay its welcome, and I don't know if anyone's like, it's 10 years old, kind of like, I won't go into deep spoilers, but everyone knows, Sully shows up, and like the quality just takes a leap up, because I felt no emotional connection to the other characters. Like they're just there, and there's no kind of I don't know, when you build up the relationship, you kind of build up the connections, all that, it just kind of throws you in. But I think, considering like the system and the game is as old as it is, it looks phenomenal. Like I was like quite frequently just like, my God, this like hardware is pretty old and the game is pretty old, but this looks like Drake's Fortune quality graphics, like PS3. The only other thing I would say though, graphically great, voice acting good, script, it's a script, but I think it relied too heavily on the touch screen mechanic, particularly the final fights. It was like, it's cool, but don't base an entire 5-minute fight around it. And crushing, there's like one that goes like this. So normally it's like right, down, up. And you see Drake kind of like giving it hell. Oh, look, it's matching the movement on screen. Isn't that fantastic?
He's doing this.
Yeah, but I had to hold, but on Crush, I was holding the Vita like this and just like,
I remember doing the exact same thing. I remember being like, this is, and as well, it's like, if you fail once, you fail, don't you? And it's like the Vita. It's like an 8-minute fight scene, and there's massive loading screens, and you're just sitting there like you only might only do like 10 interactions over 8 minutes. You're sitting there, like, right.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was that one that got me on crushing, because the Vita screen is quite responsive, but it's not as responsive as they think it is.
Yeah.
So like a movement like that, it got me 3 times, and I was ready to just like crack the Vita in half and just throw it away. But then I remembered I loved it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I've been playing.
I have the same opinion. I had the same opinion of you of Uncharted Golden Abyss. I think it's like 37 chapters, isn't it? And that's like
34.
And that's like what, 7 or 8 more than any other Uncharted game. Maybe Uncharted 4 was a little bit longer with more chapters, but other ones what, 20 to 24.
Yeah, and the thing is,
longer.
it had the weakest story.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. And I think that it was the weakest story being padded out across the most chapters. Not a good mix.
Yeah, I mean the chapters are quite short because of you feel like each chapter's only like 2 actual like rooms sometimes.
It's like climb up and encounter, go down a rope, done.
Yeah. But I thought I didn't like Chase, and I think Sully's only in it for like 5 chapters, which for me it's just not enough.
Chase,
Sully.
Yeah, Chase. It just wasn't. I just didn't feel any kind of connection to the character. I just thought it was just kind of thrown in, and it I don't know if it was because it was a pre-established dynamic between Sully and Nate, but as soon as he entered the game, it felt like just a classic Uncharted game.
Yeah.
But I think overall, definitely an 8 out of 10, especially considering it's on the Vita. Just, it is an excellent game, but a bad Uncharted game.
That's exactly what I said, Lucy. I said it's a good Vita game. I think I said it's a good Vita game. It's an okay game. It's a bad Uncharted game.
Oh my God, Jinx!
Yeah. On that, Joel, what about you? I know you've been busy, but have you had time to game at all?
I have, yeah. Whenever I needed to do something, like with the move or like build any furniture, and I just couldn't be bothered, I played Devil May Cry 5, 10 minutes, and I'd turn it off, and I just want to go back to building stuff. It was perfect.
Cure for procrastination.
It was, yeah. It was. That was pretty much it. It was
Are you any further?
Yeah, I did like 1 mission.
Hey,
Still, one step
baby
closer,
steps.
man.
Baby
One
steps.
step closer.
I went about mission 11 now. I think it was mission 10 was a nightmare to do. Have you guys played Devil May Cry 5?
No, how many missions are there, just so we can gauge how
20. Well, 21 with the prologue.
Okay, well, you're over halfway.
Over
You
half.
got 11.
Oh well, good.
Right.
It sounds like I'm close, but the thing is, there's like 7 difficulties or 6 difficulties, so it's going to be a while.
I believe in you.
I've heard that
My aim is the end of the year is my aim.
I've heard it's harder at the start though, and it gets a bit easier.
It kind of jumps. Like some missions are a lot harder than others. Like mission 8 and 10 so far for me were by far the most frustrating ones. Like some of them you can just kind of. I am looking forward to a few of them in the further on in the game, because I think about 3 or 4 missions is just bosses. So it's not a long mission, but it's the missions where, and especially on the difficulty where you die in 1 hit. It's where it's a massive mission, and then you have a boss at the end, and it's doing the whole mission perfectly and getting to the end and messing up once.
Oh, no.
And it just ruins it for you. And I think that's what's the most frustrating about those type of missions.
Yeah.
I admire that you're going for it, though.
Me too.
You're tenacious.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been talking about this game for like 15
16 years.
Yeah.
Ever since it got released, ever since it got released, what was it, like 2017?
You probably talk about it out every single episode of the podcast then.
Yeah, I do.
At some point it's come up.
I'll probably talk about it in every single episode of the podcast, even
Forever.
after I platinum it, where I'm like, I'm better than everybody else.
It's like, hey
'cause I
guys,
platinum.
remember I got that plat. Does
I
anyone
got the
see
plat.
it? I made a print of it. See it here. Oh, the beer
It's
bottle doesn't show up.
tattooed here on your chest so you can just get it out at all times. Like this.
In Comic Sans, I platted Devil May
Comic
Cry
Sans.
5.
The best one.
It's going to be my green screen from now on. I platted Devil May Cry 5.
And a purely photoshopped image of you with a really muscular body holding the plat.
with a white wig on like Dante.
Or like Gandalf coming down to save everyone in the
Yeah.
2 towers.
Well, finally, we'll come to me then. What have I been playing? I've earned an ultra rare platinum yesterday.
Nice.
1% rare, ultra rare, and it was Mountain Blade Warband.
Oh wow!
Oh, well
Congratulations.
done.
Did you get the plat?
I did.
Jeez.
You've been working on this for a while. I remember
Two-
you've been playing this game way before you started your channel.
Yeah, the platinum
I
was
remember.
2 years, 10 months to get.
Wow.
It's my longest ever platinum. I've actually seen it.
wow.
It's continuous play.
No, well, drop it in now. I haven't played it this year. It's a really good game. Dan, you've got it as well, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can relate to why it's so hard is there's not I don't know if you can agree or not, Dan, but there's not a single game on PlayStation like it. It's like a kind of it's like a open world RPG outside in. Only from the outside, where it's like it's hard to explain. Actually, Dan,
RTS.
It's like
is it?
Real-time strategy, but where you control a character. So not only do you control like an army, you also control a character and you can fight as well. But that's only one part of the game. So part of the game is you building up your warband. You might only be able to have 5 men to start with, and at the end you've got like 200, and it's like massive scale wars. But it's like these factions that are going on as well. So you go on this open world map, and there's like 6 factions, and they all move without you. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. They all coexist, so they might be fighting between each other, having wars, attacking each other's lands, taking over each other's castles. And then in that, you're sort of just there. So you're not really... It's not a game that revolves around you. It's a game that evolves and plays by itself.
So the character just like, guys, please.
Yeah. So you can like get stuck in... You can like join the side and end up fighting for somebody in one of their wars. Or you can just be like a raider and just raid. Or you can just be a trader and just go from city to city and selling goods. Or become like a... I used to go through all the tournaments because that was a good way to make money. So you just go fight competitions. Or you can just be like a local hero and fight like bandits, or you can make your own faction and just say, you know what, I'm going to become king myself.
So
I'm going to take over a castle and become my own kingdom.
It's a true RPG.
Yeah, it's. What are your thoughts on it, Dan? Since you've got the platinum as well.
Yeah, I got all the Steam achievements as well because that's where I first played it, and I absolutely just fell in love with that game. It was. You know, the way I would describe it, like, I think that's a really, really good description of it. Like, you know, you're like, it's like an RTS, but you're the guy, you're one of the guys or the main guy. But to me, it was really like, it was nearly like a precursor to the Souls type of combat. It's a really like, it's the combat in it is very exact, and you know, you can control like if it's left, right, up or down, and thrust and things like that. So the combat's very tactile and it's quite precise, similar to the Souls way of playing. And it's really satisfying horseback combat, particularly. And yeah, you know, just doing sieges and things like that. Like it's so much fun. You could kill like 300 people in one thing raiding a castle yourself if you knock all the difficulty down, because you got like this, like you could have like a giant greatsword and you're just mowing people down. You feel it's amazing. It's so much fun. And
as well, on that as well, you can level up your own character levels up as well, and you can level up every single unit that you get. So every unit you pick up of your 100 armies, they all level up individually as well. But I would say even on the easiest difficulty, the game can be quite challenging, especially if you like rush in and stuff. So it's kind of like you recruit 500 recruits, but you know you go against someone who's got 100 like housecarls who are like elite, and you're gonna die every time because your units aren't strong enough. And then it's the same like taking castles and stuff. But there's a weird glitch with the castles where if you get up the top of the siege ladder first, jump over the units, they'll be like killing people up the ladder, and you'll just stand behind them, just chopping them away like this. And then every now and then someone will try and hit you and you're just like, dead.
That's Rambo styles.
And as well, it looks like a PlayStation 2 game as well. It looks terrible. You have to get past just how bad the game looks.
But the depth of the gameplay. Yeah.
It's honestly, it's so unique. It's a challenging platinum, and I think the combat, it's kind of like nothing about it is particularly hard, but there's so much going on that you really have to understand how the game works, and all of the trophies are all tied to quite specific things. So like one of them's to become like the queen of the whole game. So you have to play as a woman, which is a disadvantage because no one wants to work with you. None of the lords respect you. So it's like a hard version of the game. And that alone could take you it took me 1,000 days, which is like probably 50, maybe 80 in-game hours. And there's loads of like trophies for like I can't remember what they are, but like taking so many castles and stuff, and like winning tournaments, I think, is one. For like insulting lords and they're getting married and stuff, but it's like all of these things are not straightforward. Not like Skyrim where you just go, will you marry me? Yes. Like marrying someone, you have to court them and you have to like visit them like 10 times, and you have to have your own castle and stuff. So you have to be like a person of standing.
They just don't make games like that anymore, do they?
I think my last one was become Marshal, because they just wouldn't pick me as Marshal, and I was trying to do everything good, and then it was like, you know, Lord Rasenbarg or something has been appointed marshal. I was like, no.
You had the campaign posters, you had the slogans, you had everything.
Yeah,
I think the best way to do that is to find. So as well, not only could you make your own faction, there were 6 factions. You could find people who thought they had a claim to the throne, and if you found them, they would then make their own faction, and then there's a couple of ways you could do it. So you could support them, and if you support them, you could become their marshal because it would only be used, and you would start this rebellion. But you get squashed because, like, say, one of the kingdoms figured out you were trying to usurp the throne, they would just throw everything at you. But then if you did actually win, they would absorb the other one, and then that would become the original faction. But that's a good way to become marshal. Yeah. But the reason why
it sounds very deep.
It's so deep. I think
with
it's
everything, like everything.
There's so much going on. I think it's a really tactical game, and that's why, because I think the trophies are so broad, so vague that you couldn't do it. Like you don't need a guide for the actual game because you couldn't have a guide because it's all random. But you need a guide to understand how to get each achievement trophy, so you can kind of get your head around it. And then as well, obviously there's money as well. So you have to pay your troops as well. So you have to always make sure you've got money coming in, which again is a struggle as well to start with in particular. But then as well, the online trophies. So the online isn't very good because I don't think the solo combat is particularly strong. So the actual the multiplayer grind is what makes the trophy so rare because there's like hundreds of kills with like throwing axes and stuff, which I had to boost. So I boosted with someone called Bogart. He actually reached out to me on Discord. He's like, I know you haven't platinumed it. Do you want to platinum it? I've just bought it. And I was like, yeah, the multiplayer's grindy, mind. It was spent like 8 hours one night, just like
MVP Bogart.
God bless
Shout out to you.
God bless you.
Hitting each other with these axes. I'm just like, man, this sucks. Sucks.
Why did I offer to help him?
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 PlayStations to do it for myself.
No way.
Yeah, and it was
no
me.
Bogart for Dan.
I was just running from like one end to the map, and the hardest thing was finding myself every time I spawned in.
That's quite a spiritual question as well in this context.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. A few other little things, but
well done.
The big.
That's awesome.
Game. It's I'm really proud of it. It's like I think I got like 8 ultra rare trophies from that, which is like a lot for me because I'm on like 46 now.
As they say here, Boolabus, man.
I would have already spoke about this on one of my videos. To be fair, by the time this comes out, so people who are watching all my videos have heard this, but not as in depth discussion. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just touch a bit on the psychological, on the little. Let's just catch up a bit. How are you feeling with no easy platinums in your life?
Update us, man. This is a safe space. It's a safe space.
Yes.
Feeling pretty good, I have to say. I've just forgot about them all. There's a few on my account that I said I might go back and finish, but now I just don't even want to. So it's like a few games like Awesome P I got a code for. I was like, I might play this, and now I'm just like, nah, I'm just not even going to bother. So.
You probably saved a good bit of money as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely. So I think that's my definitely not going to be going back anytime soon. Just focus on good plats.
And just what is there one game that you're going to work on next? That it's like what are you going to play next?
Well, we're doing this challenge in my Discord, which is
Red Dead Redemption 2.
You're Solid 3.
Well, we're doing this challenge where basically you have to play. We're going to start, but I think by the time this has come out, the challenge will have started. So basically, you have to platinum a 1 out of 10 difficulty game, and we've done that. You do a 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. So my 1 out of 10 could have been an easy game, and it is, but I've just gone for like a Telltale game instead of like a really fast one. So that's probably going to be my next game. But I was thinking
Dan, steal that idea.
No, I saw it in the Discord, in your Discord. I'm definitely going to join up as well. It's just the only thing about it is a 10 out of 10 platinum sounds super scary.
Yeah.
Well,
Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5.
For people who are actually a bit apprehensive of this idea, I'm not expecting everybody to finish it. It's just an idea for you to. It's a fun way of making you maybe picking a few games in your backlog and cleaning up, or just starting, and then also. I'm gonna, you know your limits. You know when you're gonna bow out. I'm probably gonna get. My goal is to get to a 7 out of 10 difficulty. I might bow out after that. So not many are gonna get a 10 out of 10.
And you're not going to chase people if they don't do it.
No.
You're not going to show up at their front door going, "Why haven't you got this 10 out of 10 yet?"
Well, we'll see about that. Joe?
Can I join, but do it the other way around? Like,
no.
Can I start at 10 and work
descending
backwards?
order.
You can, but you won't win.
Oh no, I don't want to win. I just want to
do your own challenge.
I just want
to. Oh no! He brought me back to my sports days too. But you won't win.
Just a reminder: Red Dead Redemption 2 is a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, but also one of the rules is you have to the game has to be on 10% completion or less before you start.
Yeah.
So that people can't just go, oh yeah, I've been doing work on Devil May Cry 5 for 9 months. Yeah, just pop the plat. So that's my next game's gonna be Wolf Among Us. But I was thinking Metal Gear Solid 3 might fit in because it's a 3 out of 10 difficulty. Maybe not.
Please.
3 or 4. I think if it's
Is
a
it
4,
really?
Yeah, it's quite
It's
easy.
easy. I'm telling you, it's easy.
So,
especially if you just memorize the entire game. I mean,
Nathan.
God, I love that game. I think the first time I played it was in 2004.
Actually, I have a lot of memories of Metal Gear Solid 3 and Devil May Cry 3 at the same time. I think
Devil
I got
May
them
Cry 3.
I had them both at once.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
It was a great. So I think, and I got Revenge of the Sith as well on the PS2. It was like a golden age of PS2 games.
That was a great game, by the way. That was, I think, The Force Unleashed is really similar to Revenge of the Sith.
Oh.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith was such a good game on the PS2.
Especially the dueling mode.
Yeah.
We talked about this before. And
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was so good.
No, go on.
No, I'm done. I just wanted to do the Dooku thing.
It's nothing to do with me, I assure you. I try and think about my PS2 games. I feel like I think someone made a video about this. I think it was Lucy saying that like your PlayStation 3 and your PlayStation 4, you have digital record of those games, so it's easy to remember what you played. When you think of PS2 games, I sold all my PS2 games as a kid, like because you trade in, blah blah blah. And there's so many games I probably have forgot, but I think PlayStation 2 was one hell of a generation, and I just forget all the time. Like if someone will say a game, I'm just like, shit, that game was unreal.
Yeah, especially with renting. Like that's the thing where you just pick it up, have the weekend, you'd finish it, and it was like 4 games a month if you were good enough to mow the lawn and get that $5 from your parents. But like it was just a constant stream, and I liked the way it was kind of, you didn't know by reviews online, you didn't know that this game is being like, there wasn't that culture of kind of hate and anger. It was just this open market. It was the closest to just like completely neutral setting where you go in and just whatever captures your attention and you play it. Doesn't matter genre, developer, anything, you just pick it up. And I think it was a much freer experience.
You experience it yourself. Like reviews these days are just big companies simping to review to games, and then just loads of YouTubers being really sour towards them. So you got like big companies going, "This game is so good," then you got the YouTubers going, "This game sucks, I hate it."
Or it's like, I was wrong about.
Oh, guys, I know I said that Cyberpunk was actually 10 out of 10, but after everyone telling me that it wasn't, I've decided that actually it wasn't a 10 out of 10. Yeah. How noble of you.
That's actually really reminds me of I think maybe the last time we were on or the time before that, but we talked about like what was kind of our favorite PS2 game, and I said Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy, and then I was like, I looked at it in my collection, I was like, oh, I had such a great time with that, and then I was like, I wonder what the reviews say, and it was like the worst rated Final Fantasy game of all time.
4 out of 10.
But that's like Digimon World on the PS1. That's one of my like.
I love that game.
It's Digimon, like it would be close to the top 10, 15, like, but it's got like a 60 on Metacritic or 55, and me being like, the man I am now, I go, wouldn't bother. But you close yourself off, because you're getting polluted. All these other opinions just are kind of like giving you a preconception of a game before you're just on a blank slate and try it for yourself. And I think that's almost a lost art form, personally.
I agree.
There's just so much now, though. That's another thing. It's like you have to have a way of sifting through stuff. And like my general rule is that if I don't know the game and I'm not looking forward to it, I won't play it if it's less than 70% on Metacritic, even if I think it looks pretty cool. And that's probably limiting me to a lot of stuff. But at the same time, it's my only kind of way of trying to figure out
some sort of filter.
Yeah, some filter,
Well, I think it's hard because I think like Biomutant is a good example of a game that was AA by THQ Nordic, and they over-advertised it. So I think people like my brother played it and said, "Yeah, he's not like a completionist. He spent 15 hours with it. He's like, yeah, you know what? I paid full price for it, and I had a good time with it, and I knew I was going to. I wanted to buy it. I wanted it for years, and yeah, it might be a bit different to what I was expecting, but I still had a good time with it because I wanted it." But then obviously they appeal to all these casual, just mainstream people. They were advertising between halftime football games and stuff. So you get those people who are buying it, and it's just so different to like what you're expecting, and then they have all this issue with like, well, the hype doesn't deliver, and it's like, it's kind of like you're not sure if you ever wanted it, and then they've convinced you to buy it, and you didn't know whether you're going to get it.
Well, hype itself is sort of a marketing construct, not to get too philosophical. I mean, it's pretty much, if you read an article going, oh, everyone is so hyped, that does kind of feed into your own kind of thing. And it's a collective imagination, because until you actually play the final game, you don't know how you're going to react to it, like emotionally or like fun wise or anything like that. So it's all just marketing,
Well,
so, some games,
it plays off that hype. It actually plays off. This is kind of where I have this issue with advertising, where I think they actively play off human like physiology and psychology.
The weaknesses.
The weaknesses, like hype. You read something, everyone's hyped about this game, and you get FOMO, so fear of missing out. You think, everyone's playing this game, everyone's going to be playing this game. Cyberpunk's coming out, it's going to be amazing, and then you think, I don't want to miss out on that. So you then feel like you then take part in the hype, and it's like just like it is.
And then on the flip side of that, if you then go, well, this isn't the best thing ever, like all those articles told me, you're going to have like a much more extreme dislike of the game, where you go, this is so overrated, I can't believe it is sitting at a 95 on Metacritic, and you just leave those kind of comments.
Yeah. But then that's valid criticism, isn't it, though? It kind of is. It kind of is and it isn't there. But then everyone's experience is different, and that's kind of like, we'll go off topic here, but every review is someone's opinion at the end of the day, isn't it? And everyone experiences a game differently. Like, so the person who's always been waiting for Biomutant and knew it wasn't going to be a great game because they've got realistic expectations, they're going to go, yeah, it was a 7 out of 10, I had a good time with it, but I knew it wasn't going to be amazing, compared to somebody who didn't know anything about it, got sold this hype, thought it was going to be like the next like open world masterpiece, and then was like, hold on, this game is trash. Oh, it's not
7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is still good. Everyone acts like it's like the biggest pile of shit ever. You'd be well clear of a passy mark if you're in like school or college or anything with 7 out of 10. So like, I don't know. Yeah. I try to avoid reviews myself personally.
I just want to quickly go back on the PS1 game, because I've got one thing I want to say, and that is when I was. Did any of you know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh or not?
I did, yeah.
Right, okay, so my favourite PS1 game is Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, and it is without a doubt the worst Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that's ever existed. So like back in like 2000, right, Yu-Gi-Oh! is quite a complicated game, but it follows a set of rules, surprisingly, like most games. But the TV show came out and they're like, screw the rules, I've got money. Seto Kaiba would be like, just making up all these rules on the fly. The anime just didn't follow rules at all. And then the games, they brought these games out and they just were making up all these rules on the fly. And it was absolutely, when I think back, chaotic. The fact that it's like making having football, and then making them play football matches with different rules.
Or just changing the ball shape. Yeah. It's a bowling ball, now it's American football. Now it's cricket.
Like, what? But I had so much fun with that game. It was like a part of my childhood. I still sometimes think about going back and playing it, even though I know now, if I'd watched the reviews, it would have been like a pretty
innocent times. Yeah. Innocent times, wasn't it?
It was. Let's move on, because we're rambling. Shock, we're rambling because Dan and Nathan are on. Right, so
this time I come with beer.
We're going to play our game of Who Am I? So this is how it's going to work. PlatinumBro. What?
That's who you are.
Yes. No. Oh, right. Well done.
That's
1
the game,
point to Joe. Right, so
right. Joining us.
Next
podcast.
What's the next section?
So how it's going to work is I'm going to describe a gaming-related character, and you guys can guess it. So I will give you a line of description. This is going to be so riffed. I have no idea how this is going to go. You only get one guess, and then basically, so you all get one guess, and then once you've all had a guess, it starts again. So if I describe someone, Joel gets it wrong, he has to wait till Dan and Nathan have both had their guess.
Okay. Who guesses first?
Whoever thinks of it first. It's who am I?
Oh, okay,
so we will.
What are our weapons? What can we use to?
You can either have a wand, something that you wave. You can wave something that you can shout.
I mean, how can we sabotage the opponents? Not like.
Oh right, well, you have to be creative with that, I suppose.
Do we phone a friend?
Well, if you have time.
Dan,
who's this?
This is like the Yu-Gi-Oh thing all over again.
Are you making rules up on the fly, Lewis?
Rules, I have money.
My God.
Can we ask the audience?
Yes. I don't know how vocal they'll be, but you can ask them. Now I just need to find my notes. Stand by. I found them.
This is professional. We have notes. We have notes and everything.
No, I couldn't just make up characters on the fly. Okay, and you'll get points, and then we'll have a winner. They will win.
I'm cracking open this second one for this anyway.
That's what they'll win. Okay.
There we go.
Alrighty,
and back with the foam.
Okay, you're all foamed up. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's start. So we'll say, you can just say, I know, I guess. Or you can wave, I'll do something, I'll watch. Okay, so this isn't quite an easy one. I am a god.
Ugh.
Kratos.
I didn't even say it was you first, but I'll give it to you. Well done.
I'll wait first.
We'll do noises because the wave that I'm going to miss.
Nicolas Cage.
That was the true answer. However, he's not a video game character.
Is he?
Nicolas Cage is like just transcended above all media, and he just kind of is like everywhere at all times.
Yeah.
Apparently, his new movie Pig is supposed to be tremendous, but let's not segue. Let's not segue.
Has Nicolas Cage been in a bad movie?
Never.
No, they're all works of art.
They were potentially bad movies, but because he's in it,
He's just so
they're no longer bad movies.
Not the bees. Not the bees.
You'll get your damn honey.
Have you all seen Bad Lieutenant?
Yes, where he just punches them. Or with the gun with the old women. Sit down.
Like, shoot him again, his soul's still dancing.
Guys.
I'll have to watch it
Oh,
now.
honestly, he threatens his old lady.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's like, I swear if you move, guys.
Anyways, this is getting off topic. I apologise. Okay. So, let's try again. Okay. We'll do ding dings or something. And
Ding.
okay. This one's we'll go for the next one. I sit on someone's shoulder. Yes, Dan?
Daxter.
Oh my god! Bravo! Okay.
I can't remember what sound I did, so I'm going
liked
to do
it.
another one.
Okay.
It was like an angry cat or like a dying cat.
Or a mixture of both.
I think it's
Angry
a harder
dying
one.
cat.
Oh.
Okay, I've got the next one. Okay. I carry round swords.
Every video game character ever.
Yeah. Yes, Joel, who?
Dante.
No.
Oh no! I just figured it out.
I don't think you have.
Ding.
Go on.
I have.
Ezio.
No. You know. I will offer up more clues, so you don't have to have a guess. You can wait until more clues are extended. So, like now, Dan's got free reign for this next one, which is going to be, I can also teleport. No.
I'm gonna Corvo.
You didn't have to guess, but no, it's not Corvo.
No.
Think outside just video gaming. It's back to free space now. I also like to dress in red.
I was right.
No, it's not Dante though. Okay. I also like to
Deadpool.
make. Yes, it is Deadpool.
Oh no way!
I was gonna say I like to make crude jokes. Was gonna be my next one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Deadpool is technically Dante, so I kind of got that right. I deserve half a point at least.
Quarter points.
definitely
Best
okay.
offer.
Okay. I like to ride around on a motorbike.
Oh, ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his goddamn name? Oh, wait, he's gonna climb a ladder. Oh, damn, Deacon.
What's his full name?
Deacon St. John.
Deacon St. John. Yeah, well done. Bravo.
Damn zombies.
Damn zombies.
I'm just
Okay.
trying to ride my motorcycle.
Okay, next one. I live in a zombie apocalypse.
Again, every video game character ever.
true.
Ding 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 ding. Joel?
No.
Ding.
Hmm?
Clementine.
How did you get that? How did you get that so quickly? I didn't think any of you would get that so fast.
This game is rigged.
So Dan's on 2, Joel's on 1, Nathan's on 2. At this
I'm on
current time.
1.5.
Okay.
1.25.
I am a police officer.
Ding.
Yeah?
God damn it. Leon.
No.
Ding.
Hmm?
Cole Phelps.
Yes, I am so impressed by this knowledge from video games.
Who?
Cole Phelps is a detective in
L.A.
L.A.
Noire.
Oh,
Yes.
L.A. Noire.
You know when he's like, he died someone and he just screams in their face?
Did you do it?
The face is like, there's like,
It's like doubt. You'll go to the slammer for a long time, boy.
Okay. I am a Jedi.
Liam Neeson.
Ding ding.
Yeah, Joel?
Cal Kestis.
Yes! No, yes!
Yeah, I was going to go with Cow.
There's 2
You
there.
weren't.
There's 2 there. But then I realised...
I
okay.
stick with my Liam Neeson answer, to be
Okay,
honest.
yeah, fair enough.
It was the other one.
Can't tell you that.
Oh.
Might come up there. It's not like, but...
Oh.
Okay. I am a prince.
Of Persia?
Again, a lot of character princes. I have 3 friends.
Is this just a statement or
Yeah. 3. And they're all on this podcast. I drive a flying car. It's called a regalia.
Oh,
Oh,
Noctis.
Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
I thought you would have got that a lot faster, Dan, to be honest.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
God, I feel dumb now. But I was thinking like chitty chitty bang bang. What's going on?
this isn't a musical quiz, Dan.
Okay, next one. I have, on occasion, punched boulders.
ding, 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 ding.
I don't know who was first there.
Shall we say it together? In
I think-
Let's
3,
sit.
Yeah, okay,
2,
3.
1.
Chris
Redfield.
Yes. I'll give you all a point for that one.
That was too easy. Though.
That was
Boulder
too easy,
punching.
There's
asshole.
only one. I think
Yeah.
from what I recall, there was only one video game character that has punched a boulder. And everybody's remembered
that
it.
game.
I'm
We're
impressed.
I punched boulder.
I'm generally impressed at how you've all done this. How you've got on with this one. Okay. I am the face of video games.
Ooh.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh. Who was that? It was Nathan, I think.
Mario.
Yes. You're on 5. 5 for
Yeah.
Nathan, 4 for Dan, 3 for Joel. Okay. I like to eat wombat fruit. Yeah.
Crash.
Yes. Bravo. I should have thought some harder ones here. Okay,
Should've.
so I am a fighter. I need to be more vague, I think. Probably a bit harder this one. I can't even remember. I don't know anything about this character.
I have a face. I'm in a game.
I punch people.
I have an arch nemesis who is also from a ninja village, who also once died and fought. I have ice powers.
Ding, 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 ding.
Joel was, I think. Joel?
Sub-Zero.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at
In my head, I was thinking, is this Naruto?
no. Okay. This was a
Technically in a
bit of a harder one. And that might be the clue. I live in Los Santos.
Ding, 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 ding.
Joel?
Oh, actually, it could be a lot of
Joel.
them. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I wanted to, see.
Touche.
Well, I'm going
touche.
third, so
Touche.
Okay.
Which one am I going to choose? Trevor.
I think we need their last names.
Carl Johnson.
Does anyone else want to have a guess at this point?
Carl Johnson.
No.
Michael DeSantis.
No. So back free play. I'll give you another clue. I mean, there's not that many characters that I actually know now. To be fair, I arrange jobs.
Lester.
Yes.
Oh, damn it, the fat Lester.
God damn, Lester. Okay. Who have we got? Who else have we got? Okay. Not that many left. You get into these pretty fast. I have a sword.
A sword.
I have a sword. Not just. I also have other gadgets which I use to fight. I have to use those gadgets only to defend my homeland. Yeah.
Jin Sakai.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
I was
on
thinking
point
Jin.
with 7 points. Nathan's 5, Joel's 4. Okay.
All of them doing pretty well.
Okay, this one's. I might have to go describe this one, but I'm going to go for a different one.
Okay.
I use swords. I can also use magic depending on my choice.
Ding,
If I
ding,
choose-
ding.
Toby Maguire.
Yes.
Geralt.
No.
Fuck.
I can fight in a civil war if I choose to do so. Yep.
The Dragonborn.
Yes.
Oh,
Dan's knowledge is on point. Okay.
I think you just gave him the answers.
I did. He's had them. Okay, I'm gonna go for some harder
It's not
ones.
above a bribe, Dan. I'll tell you.
Okay.
This must be rigged to like a PS5 owner has to
To
win
make the
or
guests
something.
look good. To make
Yeah.
the guests...
This is
I am a face of PlayStation. I can jump.
Ding.
Yeah.
Lara Croft.
No.
Oh.
I am quite small in stature. Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
Yes.
Sackboy.
Yes. I chose that because I thought you would have all said Astrobot. Well done, Dan. 9.
Small in stature can jump, and your mind immediately goes to Sackboy.
Yeah, exactly.
Sacks. Yeah.
Okay. I throw shuriken a lot, but most people in my world find it utterly pointless because nothing ever gets done with it.
ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Naruto.
Yes.
I was gone from that one. It was gone.
Okay.
I feel like that one was just for me.
I was going to say Spider-Man.
I think he's a photographer or journalist.
And or.
I think they're basically the same anyway, am I right? And I'm in a zombie apocalypse. I use lots of different things to survive in this zombie apocalypse. Lots of different weapons.
I think I know.
Oh, I know who it is, but I don't know his name.
I don't know his
The guy
damn-
from Dead Rising.
Dead Rising, yeah.
That's exactly.
We got a name or we're going to pass
Is
this
it the,
through?
is it the
Um,
blonde one or like
I don't know.
Frank?
What?
Frank,
Frank Sinatra.
no, not
Frank.
old Blue Eyes. No, Frank. Oh my god, I haven't even played the game.
I've never played the game either.
I played Dead
wouldn't have a
Rising
clue.
2. Frank. Oh, I was going to say Drebin, but
There's
that's
your
Naked
clue.
Gun.
That's your clue.
Frank the Third.
Yes, no. You know, they're like,
Three. Frank.
Frank
Frank
West.
the
yes!
Gangster.
Frank West. It's Frank
I
West.
got it.
Oh,
Oh wow.
That was a free-for-all at a point.
Oh
That
wow.
was-
I give
no, but that
Joel
point-
and Nathan both a point because I feel like Joel wouldn't have got it without Nathan there.
Yeah.
His first
teamwork.
teamwork.
I need to
Teamwork.
catch up with Dan because he's running away with it. Okay.
I think Dan should be like, has to be the last one to guess.
I take on contracts.
Ding.
Yeah.
Age of 47.
Yes. Well done. We're flying through. There's only like 5 left. Okay.
Oh, no, we're going to have to talk to each other.
I know. Okay,
to
next
fill
one.
the time.
I have fought many different people of considerable power. Each have gotten stronger after the next. Yeah.
Goku.
No.
In your face, Dan.
I'm gonna leave it out there. But that's all I'm gonna say.
That have got more powerful.
And I have also got more powerful as it goes on. But there's become a point where other people have become more powerful than me.
This is a video game character.
Yeah.
Well, I think I need another clue. I'm not ready to take a shot in the
I
dark.
exist with Goku.
Ding ding ding.
No.
Yeah.
Vegeta.
Vegeta. The Joel. Yeah, you fluffed your lines there, man. No, I'm out of this one.
Yeah, okay. You passing on your free hit. Do you want another clue or not? Or do you want any more Dragon Ball Z characters?
I.
The one with the hair.
Okay, we'll go back to a free for all now then. I need to be very careful because I know if I give away too much, Joel will definitely get it. I raised some kid once. Yeah.
Oh,
Piccolo.
Yes!
that's like Dan's favorite character.
Do you know what? I actually think Piccolo's my favourite character.
Dan's never even watched the show. He's just.
Okay, we will end it there. I've only got like 5 left anyway. Dan won with 10 points.
that was
yeah.
In second place was Nathan with 7, followed by Joel with 6. So, you know, we're still quite close.
Yeah.
So, as a viewer, how many did you get? There was potentially, I've lost count already, there was
62 questions.
25 questions. No, 26 questions in total. 25.
it doesn't count if you only answer after you've heard our answers.
If you
Yeah.
beat,
Put that out there.
Oh yeah, Frank West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you beat any of these people, I'll be interested to know if you actually got more than 10 before they got it. So like, you know, bear in mind-
Essentially what PlatinumBro is asking here, did you beat Dan?
yeah, did you beat Dan?
If you bet Dan,
Did you beat Dan before Dan
could beat himself?
beat himself?
Yeah.
That's the real question here.
Then you are MVP of the podcast if you did beat Dan. Bravo! I should have said that to start with to play alongside. It's a little bit redundant now.
You
to say
should have
that.
done.
Did you happen to play along? Because if you did, would like to have known, but I didn't tell you to.
That was a fun game. Everyone knew that.
I mean, we could all pretend to say it now, and then you can kind of like bring this section before.
Yeah.
Oh, Frank
post.
West.
Pop that in. Okay, so we'll finish on one topic. So I've got time for a little bit of a chat on the last thing, which is the Steam Deck. It's something that I've actually wanted to talk about. I know it's not really PlayStation related. It's definitely gaming related. So for those who don't know, Steam have announced the Steam Deck, which is a handheld PC essentially. It's going to rival the Nintendo Switch, and basically they've released it in 3 models. The difference in model is the size of the memory. So I think the smallest is about 16 gigs, then like 60, then like 120 or something, or maybe bigger than that.
I think 256.
Yeah.
It starts on 64, then it goes up to 256, and then 512.
And I kind of wish that they'd done that with the PlayStation 5. If there'd been a 3 terabyte or 2 terabyte
or
PlayStation
the
5,
Vita,
or the Vita, I would jump on that. But I've said enough. What's everyone's thoughts on the Steam Deck?
I think it's a good idea personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nintendo kind of need some sort of competition because that last handheld that they released was just a joke, where they just gave you like a better screen.
I think Nintendo are unintentionally trolling their entire audience base. Like, it's so bad the way they handle everything that it's like they're trolling you, but they actually aren't. It's like, it's so bad you'd be like, oh man, you've got us good, but they're like, got you. What are you talking about? This is our line.
Yeah, yeah, they've gotten too comfortable, I think, and I think they need someone to kind of push them a bit to do better. I think
there is a concern though that Steam have abandoned some of that stuff in the past, and it's kind of the idea that this might just be a test. Because I think in theory, if it comes out and stays out, I do actually think it could be game changing.
Yeah, I think the price range in terms of performance is excellent because I watched an interview with Gabe Newell, and he said that was the main stickler when they were designing this, was the price point. Because, I mean, you're always limited in a sense with a handheld. I know technology's improved a lot and all that kind of jazz, and you can just see, like, it's robust. Like, it's like, my first thought when I saw it was, oh, like, that's really cool, but it doesn't really look that portable. Now, I like, not to rave out about the Vita again, but, you know, it's so compact and light, and it's still incredible, even though it looks like it could have been released just 2-3 years ago. Like, it just has like a timeless design to it, and it's so light, and the amount of stuff they've crammed in. The Steam Deck it's a big boy. It's a big boy.
I think it's 3 times the weight of the Nintendo Switch as well.
Yeah, and like, I think if, you know, games or developers focus on having like Steam Deck optimized versions of the game, I don't see why it can't do incredibly well, because the fact it's attached to the Steam storefront, I think that is its greatest asset. Because as you were saying about Nintendo, it's the lack of love for cross-generational support that I think really bogs them down. Like, if you buy a digital version of a game, I wholeheartedly believe that you should be able to play that game across the systems to carry forward. Yeah. Sony are terrible with that, to be fair to them. With the PS2 titles they released on the PS3 that you couldn't play on the PS4, then had different versions of PS2 games, but I don't know if they're compatible with the PS5. You'd need to tell me that. Sure. But all these storefronts are so fragmented, and I hate that. I think with the Steam Deck, there's going to be one beautiful line of continuity, and I think that's going to be the biggest asset for it.
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons why I don't like digital, is because of the loss of your games, essentially, after a certain period of time. But I think you're right. I think as well, for those trophy hunters, you know, Steam has achievements as well, so, you know, you can continue your trophy hunting and completionist stuff on a different platform. And I've seen the videos of it up and running, and it literally is just a pretty powerful handheld tablet, essentially, with like the controls and stuff built into it. So, you know, you can get Windows on it, you can get Linux on it, you can operate it as a PC, but but play it on it as well. And I think, although I think you're right there, Nathan, in terms of the transportability, like it's a lot more. It's massive. It is massive essentially, but I think for the purpose, I suppose, for like most people who do use handhelds, a lot of them do actually just use them in the house, especially over the past couple of years, like past year in particular. And I think maybe it's not amazing for like sort of walking down the street with, but in terms of sitting on a train or on a bus.
Listen. Gamers usually like need to work out because people are gaming for hours. You know, they kind of neglect themselves a bit. You get the Steam Deck. It's like a portable dumbbell that you can play game with. Like if it's 3 times the weight of a Switch, like you can
push it to the limit.
I mean, I think it'd be good to play it, to exercise on an exercise bike. I think if I got a Steam Deck, I would be on an exercise bike doing it because the exercise bike is pretty boring. But with the Steam Deck,
I think Valve would release like
just put it on the
exercise bike. And you keep recharging the deck by like cycling.
What are your thoughts, Dan?
I don't know. See, I'm someone.
What are we talking about?
I'm coming at this a bit different because I am usually a first adopter on crap stuff. Like I bought the N gauge. Like I bought I actually bought an N gauge. So. I'm going to buy it personally, and I think it's going to fail. That would be my hot take. I think it's not going to do well. I'm going to own one because I love to own stupid things like that. But I like look. Every single generation, someone tries to take on Nintendo and they fail because Nintendo are the undisputed kings of the handheld market, and they always will be.
But on that, that's interesting, really interesting take. And I think you might be onto something. But the good thing about this is, firstly, Steam are massive. PC gaming, I think, when you actually see stats, PC gaming's as big as all consoles. So Steam's bigger in sales than Nintendo, I think. Yeah, maybe wrong, but it's big. My point is,
we can bring up a report on screen in the edit.
But the thing about the Steam, if the Steam Deck fails, the thing is, you'll always have it, and you'll always have access to your Steam library. So even if, like, it's not like you're buying what was the Google game? What was the Google one called? Stadia. It's not like you're buying Stadia. You're just going to get 8 games, and they're going to ban it completely. If they abandon the Stadia, you may not have any updates, but you're still gonna, if you have the Steam Deck, you'll always have access. You'll always be able to play games on it, which kind of is like. So it really,
it's kind of future proof.
Yeah. It could fail generally, but if you've got one, then it's not going to fail for you if all the games work. Obviously, if games develop, the thing about Steam, they've said as well, it's not going to be, you can't modify it, so it's compact. So PC gamers, they obviously take apart the PCs. You can't do that with the Steam Deck, which means it could become outdated incredibly fast in terms of PC gaming.
Yeah. So I think their logic with it is that because it's obviously like a 720p screen, that they can get away with the relatively powerful chip that's in there. I think it's kind of similar. I was watching Digital Foundry's take on it, and I think they said it's about half the power of an Xbox Series S. So it's pretty powerful for a handheld portable, unit. But I don't know, like personally, I think, and this is someone, I have quite a good library on Steam. So like there's a lot of things in there that I'd love to play, especially like the older games and things like that. But I feel like it's a bit kind of, it's in between two markets, and that never works,
that's a good point.
PC gamers are PC gamers, and that's it. They have absolutely no interest in console. They use their PC for mods. They use things like that. They're going to be very limited on the Steam Deck, and I just don't see that appealing to them. And then other people aren't just going to invest into the architecture.
It's a bit more complex than a Switch as well.
Yeah. Well, PC games aren't pick up and play, are they? You don't, most of the time you don't just buy the game and like play. Like, a lot of times it's like modifying them to your specifications. But maybe if they're smart about it, they might have like a Steam Deck setting for most games that are coming out, so you can just turn on those settings and it's good to go. I think I'm coming in as the idea of someone who is not a PC gamer at all, but probably does see that in my future at some point, because I'm like, after seeing the 60 frames per second, I'm just like, I just want more. All I care about is frames. I just want 80, 90, 100.
You've been turned, man, to the dark side.
So I think you're joining the master race soon.
Yeah, exactly. Getting a neck beard and all sorts. So I think I could, I think for people who are like...
Steam Bro.
Yeah, Steam Bro. Patent Standard.
But I'll go back in one point, and I will say like that if anyone could take on Nintendo, it would be someone like Steam, because and Valve, because they've they do have that architecture, they have the developers, they have
an
the relationship
inbuilt
store,
yeah,
exactly, and the even relationship with all these developers. So there is the possibility that, like you said, Nate, that they might bring out like custom settings. But I don't know. I've seen too many situations like this in the past, and like I really am excited for it, because I find it very difficult to play a lot of my Steam library, because on the PC I find it so less convenient than the console. So something like this, to have it so conveniently is super cool. So I am really excited to pick one up.
I am.
But I just don't ever foresee it.
Fail.
I don't foresee it ever taking over the Switch, because Nintendo's key and their unique selling point is always their first party games. They're never giving those away, and
But that's the thing about Nintendo, that they're very one-dimensional. They've only got four actual games that they actually just recycle every year. They've got like Mario Kart, Mario, Pokemon.
The GameCube was the last console for me where there was Eternal Darkness, Resi 4. Don't you forget was originally on GameCube. That the Resident Evil remake was on the GameCube. The Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes, the reason I owned a GameCube, surprisingly. So I like that kind of mix, but I felt like once they moved on to the Wii, I think the third-party support kind of dwindled a little bit, and then I just felt like it was regurgitating the same characters, and I would love for them to come out with, I don't know, a new IP?
Be nice, but
just one new IP?
But why would you, when Pokemon makes you hundreds of millions every year? You can see why, but there's no innovation in Nintendo. There hasn't been.
It's all hardware. It's all hardware innovation. I will definitely give them that. Like, they pushed the industry forward with their hardware innovation in terms of touchscreen with the DS, the Switch, being able to hardware. I cannot agree with you there. I have to say they're so innovative and they brought so many new ideas. However, in terms of the actual games, which is the reason you buy a console, they're severely lacking. That's my ultimate opinion on Nintendo. I know Dan is shaking his head.
Never ever gonna agree. I'm never gonna agree.
I'll come over, man. I'll fight.
It's like buying a brand new car, but then getting in it, and then it's literally identical to the car you own on the inside, and drives like the same car. You're like, it's like literally going in and going, oh, like this nice Jaguar. And then it's like me getting in, and it's like, oh, it's just a Ford I drive every day, and it's just as slow, just as dirty.
But Dan, tell me why you can never agree.
Well, it's just, I don't think Nintendo fans buy a Nintendo for any other reason, and the quality of those games of the first party studios is just so incredibly high and innovative. We talk about the hardware, but think about what Breath of the Wild just did for the open world. It completely reshaped everything, and Nintendo have always been innovating, and I think the reason that they can get away with it is because everything they put out is absolute gold. Mario is still far and beyond the best platformer of all time, and every iteration of it, in my opinion, it keeps getting better, and I don't know what they're doing, but if a new console comes out, I'm picking it up, because I know, even though my Switch library, I can hold it in one hand, the entire library.
And they're all £50.
Yeah, they're all and they'll sell for £50.
True.
But every single one of them is top tier quality, in my opinion, at least. So I have
one question. How much is Nintendo paying you?
Nintendo, shut up. No, I mean, I totally get that. I do get that, Dan. I appreciate it.
Switch chums unite.
No. PlayStation will always have my heart. I've always been a primary PlayStation user. It's just I can't
Nintendo will always have your wallet.
PlayStation has a heart, but Nintendo definitely have this fucker's wallet.
The sack shows.
I think for me, I just think Nintendo is they do really. It's kind of like what was Ghost of Tsushima. It was a perfected open world game. I just think Nintendo, apart from Pokemon, which I think is really stagnated, and really just so easy. It's not even like the game that Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, Ruby, Like they're just so easy now that it's. But you know, it is what it is. But like with Mario, it's like it'll always be a platformer. It's like saying Call of Duty makes the best first-person shooters, and a lot of people play them, but they're still just first-person shooters, and they're nothing more than that. I feel like that's the thing with Mario for me. It's like it never amounts to more than just platforming, and I don't like platforming.
I really love Paper Mario on the GameCube. Like I'd say after like PS2, PS4 probably now. Like I'd almost say like the GameCube would be maybe a little bit higher than PS1. I know that sounds really ridiculous, but I really like Paper Mario. I thought that was an excellent game.
I loved Pokemon Colosseum on GameCube.
Yeah.
Going back, Collie.
Back in the day.
Let's wrap things up quickly. We'll wrap things up, and I just want to say one thing to Dan. Dan, have you pre-ordered a Steam Deck?
No, I haven't. I wasn't able to.
So they've sold out. So Steam are being really clever. So I can't pre-order one because I don't have a Steam account. But they've done this because it's for Stop Scalping, which I think which is really good. So it basically means you can only order one, I think, and that's if you've bought. You have to have bought something.
Bought
on
a game
Steam
within a year.
Yeah. So it basically means you can only buy it if you actually have, you know. And people weren't expecting that to be a Steam Deck, so people can't have been like doing it in anticipation. I think that's awesome. I think there's going to be an extreme shortage of them.
Yeah.
I think even you think it wasn't enough PlayStation 5s, like, they'll probably make like 1 million units worldwide of the Steam Deck. So I think, if that, so I think they're going to be really hard to get a hold of. So, and there might be now people going on to Steam, buying games now, so they can then pre-order like 10 of them. And that's kind of the risk that you could go on, buy a £5 game on Steam, and then when the console comes out at £500, buy it and sell for $2,000.
Well, Valve have given themselves a year. Because the day they announced it, I'm sure a lot of people create a Steam account, alright, just in anticipation for maybe in a year there'd be a shortage, much like PS5, because it's been, you know, it's been we're still in the famine with the PS5, essentially. So, like, I thought that was a very clever way to stop scalping, personally.
Yeah, it is. But then they also have this problem as well, where it's like, if there's a shortage, like, PlayStation have the PlayStation 4. So nobody can play the PlayStation 5, but everyone can still play the PlayStation 4. So it's not the end of the world. They can still release games for PlayStation 4. People can still play them. But if you want to push this new product, and there's not enough of them, you can't push it. Which means it loses relevancy. People stop buying it. So that's something they must have to realistically be thinking about. Thinking, if we only make 1 million units and they're going to be sold out in a day, then we're not going to have any more for 4 months. And that's that could be it. Like, that could be
who gets them.
Yeah. So they must have thought about this, surely. I think we've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Steam are a big, intelligent company.
Well, you don't know as well, though, how long they were planning this. The only other thing I would say, maybe to be devil's advocate, is they may have anticipated this, because I'm sure they didn't just hash this plan 2 weeks ago to create a Steam Deck.
Yeah, they're not us.
I would say that maybe they have a lot. Oh yeah, no, we're really well prepared. I can imagine and envisage that they have quite a few ready to go, like as of now. That like it's not some kind of conceptual thing that like they're only going to start building. Oh yeah, we're going to make this. Okay, oh lads, did we not tell you? All right, we better start building these. There's going to be a shortage, and then they go and build it. I can imagine that they have quite a few ready, but that's complete conjecture and my imagination.
There could be like 50,000 Steam Decks sitting in a
Gabe News somewhere under the stairs.
Yeah, someone's house.
There's been a lot of hands-on already with this, like when it was announced. So they did obviously have a few of them prepared, maybe not final builds or whatever. But yeah, I think it's fair to say. I'd be, again, I think maybe similar situation as the Steam controller. I think it might just fizzle out a little bit. It'll be a cool idea, but
they are quite expensive as well, though.
You have no faith for someone that's putting a lot of faith in.
£500, but I don't believe in it.
This is going to fail. Take my money.
I think the real question is, will the Steam Deck affect Nintendo in any way? Because that's really the question everybody is asking. Because essentially it's going to replace the Switch, is what everybody's saying.
Well, the Switch has only got 3 years left until they've got to be thinking about upgrading it now, surely. So
the Switch Pro.
Yeah, they'll probably release one with like 2 screens instead of one, or like a
flip
maybe
Switch.
An even better
Flip
screen than the other one.
I think we have to look to maybe the lifespan of the 3DS if we think that Nintendo have to upgrade their hardware.
Because they brought out like bang in the middle of a generation, didn't they? They brought out bang in the middle of the Xbox, and it was 2017 it came out, 2016, I think, 15.
I think it's 17. Yeah, I can't remember myself.
I'm sure I wasn't game when it came out. I'm sure.
Like, what I want to see is I want to see the Steam Deck do well, and I want to see Sony dip their toe in one last time. One last time.
For all time's sakes.
Because the Vita is just riddled with all these features that never, like the fact it's still got Bluetooth and stuff, so I can use it as like a music speaker and stuff at work. Like, it's just all these small things. I would love Sony to go, like, lads, like, you know, Valve are kind of, you know, pop it in here. Like, maybe Microsoft be thinking, should we have a Vita 2 this time? It's serious.
Yeah. Do you know, like, the PlayStation Vita is kind of like, you know, when you have there's that kid at school who's like really, really good at sports and really good at like everything, and then you just sort of like 14, 15, they just start like drinking loads and just fall off the wagon. But you know, it's because they've kind of had a bad hand, like they don't have like a full, complete family or stuff, and you kind of look at them and go like, you had so much potential, but like
you had so much to live for, and your name means life. Why are you surrounded by death?
Yeah, and it's like, you know, like you yourself, could have been everything, but instead, because of the way you were handled throughout your life, you've like been given the bad hand. That's just made everyone ignore you, and I feel like that's kind of.
It was the one that was told that they were brilliant, so thought that they never had to do anything and put in any work.
Got complacent,
yeah. And then they put on a little weight, lost a bit of hair. You know, at the reunion, they weren't quite the same.
But I feel like the Vita, though, I feel like the Vita it wasn't its fault.
I feel personally attacked.
I mean, you were looking at him the whole time as well. I was like, damn, this is getting dark. But the Vita's like, it was like,
I love you, Dad.
I just think it was such a good console, and I feel like everything else, its environment failed it. Like, Sony didn't make enough games, they didn't advertise it enough, but it, at its core, was a sort of fantastic console.
I think the Vita, essentially, for most people, is just a device where they use remote play.
Yeah.
It's a device where,
because think of what the PSP was. I played my PSP as a kid, like, honestly, more than a PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1. I just played my PSP non-stop, hundreds of hours. And, like, you know, that could have been some of the kids on a PlayStation. If there was a Monster Hunter game that came out for the Vita, or something like that, it could have been, like, game-changer, but it just didn't really. Yeah, it was Persona 4. Yeah, it was Golden Abyss, a few Batman games, but.
I'm liking Severed. But we can talk about the Vita all day. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid and the Vita are just touchy topics for me.
What we'll do is we'll wrap things up. We'll talk about Steamdeck somewhat in that discussion. We also kind of just.
It was in there somewhere.
I'm sure as a viewer you would have heard a bit of it. A bit of mainly Nintendo. And then that was kind of how it just got the Vita. Nathan managed to fit it in somehow in this conversation.
Yeah.
Just forced it in there. Vita.
We touched a bit on Steam Deck, and then Dan just kind of like gave it all his points on how Nintendo is just better than anything else in the world.
Shilled hard on Nintendo.
Again, Switch Chums, new channel coming next week.
I think Nintendo are notoriously like anti-YouTube as well. Yeah. I don't think they pay anyone. So
this channel is getting struck down for this video.
Show no gameplay footage. Don't put it in.
Everyone say goodbye. PlatinumBro. Nintendo is coming for us. On that, we'll wrap things up. If you'd like to watch more of these two funny Irishmen, you can do that on their channel, which is Platchums. Of course, Joel as well. You can watch him on his channel or any more of the future podcasts and podcasts that have been. Platchums have been on podcasts in the past as well. So if you'd like to catch up on them, on their shenanigans, you know, down below, or just check the playlist. So on that, I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode of the Platinum Podcast.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.